Hello. Today we're going to look at how to use the OnKey event in Alpha software and the purpose or reason that you would want to use it. In most cases, what developers will do is they'll take and use the OnKey events to cancel a standard action of a key and replace it with their own code. Perfect example of that is to take and have a pop-up help screen. So if I click on my clock and then hit the function key F1, I've replaced the code so that it displays a help for my clock. Now, there's other things that you can use the OnKey events to do, and another good example is our calculator. So let's take a look at that. So I click on my display menu. Now I can go right to my hotkey for my tape calculator, and here it is on the screen. It's a standard calculator, only it has a tape attached to it, and it has a convert button for converting the different units of measure. We'll look at that in just a moment. I can take and use the mouse to point to any key or any button on the calculator and click it, or I can use the 10 key on the keyboard to perform the same function. Now, if you are a data entry person, it's very slow to be using the mouse to keep moving from object to object on the screen. So you want to be able to use that keyboard where you can be extremely fast. So let's take a look at how that works. I'm going to add some numbers. 45 plus 63 plus 22. And now I want a subtotal. The answer is 108. Okay, I want to take and divide that. So I'm going to hit the divide on the keyboard. 9.75. And I'm going to hit equals again. There's my answer, 11.0769. Now let's say I want to convert that to some unit. So let's look at our conversion unit. I have lengths, liquids, and time. So we're going to say that it's in lengths. So we want to take and say that we have miles, and we want to convert that to yards. That'll be a kind of a weird number. That'll be pretty big. There you go. 19,495.3440 yards in the miles. Now, one of the things that the calculator does, I'm going to hit page up so you can see, is it tells you what the conversion is. So here we're saying that there are 1,760 yards in a single mile. So 11.0769 miles would equal 19,495.344 yards. Pretty cool. Now I can take and type also line item descriptions in here. So I have 45 miles, and I have 63 miles, and I have 100, and that equals a total of 108 miles. So we put subtotal. Okay, and then I'm dividing by 9.75, which gives me my final answer. Okay, and then I convert it. So now that I've done that, we can print this tape and make a hard copy to keep for later use, and to save the tape and bring it up again in the future to edit it. So we click on print. We'll go to preview. Continue. There you go. It pops up in Adobe Reader. So it shows us miles 45, miles 63, subtotal 108. We're dividing by 9.75. Total equals 11.08. We're converting that miles to yards. The answer is 19,495. And then on this column, you have a running total of those values. So now if you're an accountant and you're storing numbers, it's an easy way to check your tape. This is an excellent way to take and build a personal inventory for your home that you can give to your insurance agent for insuring jewelry, furniture, belongings, so forth and so on. All right, now let's take and look at how that's accomplished. So I'm going to bring that tape up in design mode. Okay, now the OnKey event is right-click on the form, go to Events, and you'll see it in the list. So I select OnKey. Now here, the way Alpha Software does it is you take and define the key that you want changed. So it's a_user.key.value, and you create a character string for that key. So here I'm saying the plus key. Then I tell it that the key is handled, set it to true, and on the down event, I'm basically throwing away the built-in function for that key, and I'm reassigning it to push the button plus on the calculator. Then I take and activate my line item so that you can see the results on the tape. Do the same thing with the minus and the percent and the multiply and the divide, and the equal and the subtotal is done by setting the enter key on the keyboard. Pretty straightforward. Now let's take a look at one of those keys. So we'll look at the plus. Let's go to events on push. So remember, when you're working on your 10 key on your keyboard and you hit the plus key, that's pushing that key on the keyboard as well. I mean on the calculator. So there you go. I set the operand to plus, and if it's a blank, I take and go ahead and skip down and just set that value so that the on-screen calculator works like a desktop calculator. I open my table, which is my tape, and I process the information based on what I have entered in the line item, set my answers, and then redisplay my browse so that it looks like the tape is moving. That's it. Very simple and very easy. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We will be glad to help you out if you're trying to do something similar and you're not sure what to do. Thank you very much. You have a great day.